I don't have a specialty. I don't?
Well,
nope.
that's what you're saying.
Right, I don't, man, I don't.
Happy wife, happy life. Nah, just recently she sold the little pan that's behind you, which was good, you know.
Yeah.
It's the way life is, yeah. Gotta fix the boiler in the house. My name is Bob Seeger Jr., an owner in Indian Lariat Motorcycles in Brooklyn, New York. Gonna be 45 and I'm pretty happy with my life. My first bike was a full dress Harley. I bought off a guy that had passed away from cancer, from a girl that I was dating, her uncle. And the thing had every doodad, you know, it's like urban cowboy all out. Lights, bells, whistles, and fishtails, which was pretty neat.
Cut it all off?
I fucking destroyed it. I destroyed it riding it. I put on about 50,000 miles in like 2.5 years, something like that. I had a cousin, he was a fucked up guy, and you know, looking back on it more, he was in a couple of bike clubs, and you know, of course not knowing any better at 18, 17, you know, looking back at how fucking retarded he was, and the motley crew of characters and clowns. And probably when I was around 10, so like 1980, you see these guys that were in Coney Island, but the bikes they had, you know, just these ridiculously raked out panheads are just something I never got out of my head. And always thought, you know what, I'm gonna own a couple of bikes and just, I'm gonna see the world, you know. And then it was like, you know, absorbing clubs. Like I wish they would do today. I wish they would beat them and then fucking absorb the two, and then they'd clean up all the Sons of Anarchy, you know, wannabe guys, and, you know, make America beautiful. And you know, to me, I think clubs are beautiful. I think clubs are great. I have fucking double zero desire to ever be in a club. You know, I say, hey, oh, your club hates that club. All right, great. But yo, your back patch is fucking, it's badass. And people just go, what? I go, fuck me, dude, I'm just saying, you know. All these clubs, they hate one another. Listen, I have enough time fucking getting spoiled milk when I want my coffee, you know.
Yeah.
Sailor Eddy in Camden, that place was so out of control from what I heard, is that you had to get buzzed in. Sailor Eddy would sit there with a 45 on his counter. And
well, Anthony had to do the same thing up in New York. After they robbed his place, Tony Polino, they had to put a second stage to buzz him into. Yeah, Eddie lined and Helen colored.
That's right.
You know, that's right. Boy, that woman could put some color in.
Yep.
Yeah. Then they had Dracula across down the street, yep, with the Sailor Eddy sign up, hoping to get the overflow. Yeah, Eddie was popular in his day. Yeah.
Now I believe Philadelphia Eddy tattooed most of Dracula stuff.
Okay.
Including the mask on his face.
Yes.
Right. Mm-hmm. He was a real carnival guy, wasn't he?
Frankenstein here. No, I haven't. No. I would probably had nightmares for a while. He's a big man, I heard too. I heard he had a monkey that ran around. He had one of those little spider monkeys would run around in his tattoo shop. And then come up and start picking your ear and stuff while you're getting work done. And a little trap door on his front door that if somebody knocked on the door to come in for a tattoo, he would open it and all you'd see is that Batman Robin mask tattooed on his face. Back in the day when only tough guys got tattooed.
No doubt.
Right? Yeah.
Imagine that, getting tattooed by a guy with a Batman mask on,
mm-hmm,
with a monkey picking at your ear.
Yep. Yeah.
You didn't complain about it, did you?
No. And I heard once he grabbed your arm, you weren't leaving if you wanted to.
Right. Yeah.
All my friends are friends with Bobby, you know, Peter Guns, Sal Peppy, you know, these are all my riding partners ride with Bobby. Bobby hangs out with us. You know, he's just one of the guys. You know, I don't know him from the business. I just know him as one of the guys. All right, he rides a badass motorcycle because he's riding one of his. But he hangs with us. He rides just like we ride, like a wild man. And just a cool guy that will do anything. One of the nicest guys around, especially in the motorcycle business. Nicest guy around, Bob Seeger, man. Him and his wife, wow. What nice people, man.
You know, I'd met Larry a few times. Then a guy named Kenny Roberts, you know, ended up working with Larry, and one thing led to another, and I'd see him all the time in the street. Then we'd hang out, never ever talk about motorcycles. It wasn't until we were partners for about a year did he go, you know, I think we should build you a motorcycle and get rid of that boat, because I still had that full dresser. And that thing was held together with bungee cords, you know. You know, like when the garage, when Larry would work under the stairs in his apartment in Manhattan, there was a bike shop called American Dream Machine, and the partners, you know, one couldn't fuck the other one fast enough. So that grew into a place called Gasoline Alley. Well, that guy was too much of a sweetheart that he thought he was the man, and that really didn't work out for him. And he just kind of rode on Larry's name and Larry's ideas, which was not really that bad. He just didn't compensate him like he should have. And then when it came to stuff like building the bikes that turned out to be Discovery bike build-offs, he put way more than his allotted 2 cents into the picture. And so that tension, that riff, you know, was just happening. But up until then, I just helped move stuff. Again, Kenny Roberts, you know, he was and still is a really good friend. And I knew everybody in the garage in the city to what, you know, Larry was just doing small motor jobs and stuff like that. And at that point, he just started to not snort the bags of heroin and party anymore. And, you know, he was looking at life pretty, you know, pretty good. It was absolute madness. It was all, everybody's gonna be famous, and nobody took reality serious. And all these bike build-offs, Monster Garage, all that shit was happening. It was a lot. Everybody was, you know, extending the loans on their house or their parents' house, or they were using their parents' money to, you know, put off that they've got it and they're the shit. And then you got a character like this guy, and it was just great. We were driving, I bought a goofy Sprinter van before they became something of, you know, delivering meat every day, and we towed a trailer and just bounced around state to state. My wife would book shows, and whatever was the next thing, we would be at it and set up. And I think only one trip did we ever talk about, you know, building a motorcycle, because I really didn't care. You know, I enjoyed hanging out with him because I had a good, you know, friendship with him. You know, it wasn't anything more than that. But the prick roped me into fucking the business, so.
Were a lot of bikes getting built at that point?
No. That's the best thing, is that people think Larry really built a, you know, this crazy body of motorcycles, and that's just not the reality of the situation.
Bobby Seeger, yeah. Man, Bobby Seeger's one of the greatest human beings ever. He's a wonderful host. I stay at his house when I go out there. Bobby's a big man with a big heart. But once you cross him, he's done with you, you know? I love him to death. He's really out there on the front line every day, hustling every day, nonstop, 24/7. Like when you roll with Bobby, your days are 20 hours plus. He's a great human being. I love him.
Grease Monkey was the bike. Grease Monkey was the bike that a lot of people looked at. You know, Larry's version of a functioning practical chopper was this. You know, not something you would have seen, like, say, out of the Wild One. You know what I mean? Like, that would be more of the bobber. And You know, this has got everything it needs. You know, simple, slim. You know, we've swayed a little bit of that, and that's just because of certain things from products from other companies. And you know, the biggest we've gone is like a 180 tire and some of these big ridiculous motors, but we didn't sway all the way over that line. You know, we still ride within the comfort.
No bikes.
Yeah. You know, it's like when people say, hey, can you build us this? And they show a picture and I go, no, we don't do that. You can see by what we do, you know, Liberace would like some of these, you know. They're cute, they're fucking, they got little sparkles, you know, it's neat. And then it's the stuff that some people ask for. I just say, hey, I know a good amount of people out there. I'll give you anybody's phone number. They'll make any of that shit you want.
I worked, like I said, I worked the factory, so I worked nights. I get out at 8 in the morning, and I'm tired. But I drove up north to the swap meet and walked around for a while looking at shit, you know. And I got to sleep for a while, so I laid down next to the bike, but I had a big chain. I wrapped it around my legs, around my arms, through the frame, and I put a lock in it, and I fell asleep. Like, I mean, to take the bike, you really had to take me with it, you know, like, think, hey, there's a package deal here, you know.
Tommy's getting dragged down
Yeah,
the
take
road.
the fucking idiot that's sleeping, too.
I don't think he's ever gone to sleep. Like, I don't know that Bobby ever actually sleeps. You know, like, to survive what that family has gone through, and to come out, you can't say ahead because of a loss like that. But you know, we talked about it, and I always said, you know, Aiden. I think I'm wearing an Aiden shirt now. You know, that little boy is going to change the world. And because of Alyssa and Bobby and Aiden's posse, he's gonna change the world. And the fact that they're so passionate about getting this testing done for kids and everything that they've done to survive, and it's just incredible. Forget about how long he's been around the bike world, you know what I mean? Forget about Indian Larry, forget about, you know, he's a maniac, all that shit. He's a madman who loves to take pictures of himself taking a shit. That's one of my favorite things. I look forward to his toilet selfies. But he's somebody that I look up to. He's like, I would aspire to be more like Bobby Seeger.
Everybody's a cool guy. I'm a 276-pound just white guy, just shuffling along. You know, I'm not the cool guy. Never looked to be the cool guy or the tough guy. But everybody else outside, with the exception of Coney Island Sal, you know, everybody's a cool guy, tough guy, and you know, it's kind of sad because there's not too many real people out there. Everybody will come over wanting to blow you because, you know, you may have something that they don't have, or they're dreaming that you have something more, and you really don't. And you don't have like the 3-card trick going on. People don't believe in straight talk. And I think that that's a downside for not only just Brooklyn, but all around. But the hype is there. You know, if you got mommy and daddy's, you know, money from pulling corn, or whatever they broke their ass for, you too can live in Brooklyn.
I guess it's cool if you hang out with the right people, and that's with anything else. You know, if you hang out with your friends and the right people, everything's cool. You know, a lot of people take a crap on Daytona Bike Week or Sturgis, but if you're with the right people, anywhere you go is fun. So it's cool.
Pete, go back to LA.